welcome to STOked. My name is Chris.
And I am Jeremy.
STOked is the ultimate Star Trek Online podcast.
The one and only.
Now this episode we're doing differently than most episodes. It's kind of more cash.
We're
going to be playing some
laid
games.
back.
One particular game, really, Star Trek Online.
You might have heard of it.
We'll be taking your calls. We'll be chatting with the chat room while we're playing. You're going to kind of see a cut-down version of that. Plus, we also have some additional stuff.
We're also going to be reading some of your emails that you sent us about non-combat mission ideas.
Let's get into it.
All right. And since you asked, yes, I am an asshole. I fell into a burning ring of Jeremy.
Down, 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 and Jeremy was on fire.
And it burns, burns, burns. The plasma fire. I also was a great, big, huge fan of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Maybe next time, just so that it's better footage for the show, you guys should let us zone in first. Captain, the crew of the ship are not humanoid in origin. They're Undine. I should do the voiceovers for this game.
Probably not.
These are stockpiles of isomorphic injectors.
Nope, don't want that.
Well, I've got a stack of Romulan ale in the bank for just such an occasion.
Now, you might have heard the news out there recently if you're tuned into the Star Trek Online community. You went by Cryptic Gozer in the forum, and he has announced that he'll be leaving.
He's with us on Skype.
And he's called in right now to join us in our casual episode. So we're looking forward to talking to Gozer. How you doing, Gozer?
How's it going, guys?
So you're still working for Cryptic right now, right?
Right, until Friday. Yeah, and it wasn't... So the announcement was mainly just because I spent so much time on the forum.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just disappear.
Sure.
Right.
Because then people get to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
Right? They get to make all these, wild accusations about me leaving and whatnot. So
Right.
I just, told
Set the
everybody.
story straight.
Well,
Yeah.
to be honest, there's already been a lot of wild accusations.
Yeah, I know. It's
Regardless, I don't think you can
win.
Yeah, you
can't
can't
win.
win. No.
Yeah, I know. That's silly. That's silly talk. But there's a lot of other people. And specifically, there's a lot of other content designers. I just happen to be the most visible because I spend so much time on the forum.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you had your fingers in most of the big new releases that came out recently, the Special Task Forces. Am I right?
That's correct. But again, it's if you look at Cryptic, it's a great company. But I mean, the one of the things that they do, or they did when we started working on the content, was who's the most geeky Star Trek guy on the content team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's put that guy on the most high profile content, right? I mean, that makes sense. So
So you're calling yourself out.
Well, I'm a huge Star Trek nerd. I have been for years and years and years.
Now, being such a hardcore Star Trek geek, is there a little bit of a heartbreak over leaving this project behind now?
Yes, it was a hard decision. It's definitely the game I always wanted to make. I'm fairly new to the industry. I've only been in about 3 or 4 years, so getting to make the game I always wanted to make right off the bat was
That's exciting.
And now I'm just kind of wanting a change. And the new company gave me a great offer. I get to switch gears a little bit and try some new stuff and live on a different part of the country I've never lived in. So
can you say what you'll be doing?
No.
I thought so. So anything you want to talk about that is something that was on your to-do list that you would have liked to have seen finished off before you hit the road?
Possibly any unfinished business that you've left behind?
I had really one more thing left before they started giving me new things. That was the last STF in the series of 4 that I made, and it is going to now be handled by another content designer. But I got the pretty much the big battle with the Borg Queen. This next STF is where you'll face her.
What's the name of that STF?
Into the Hive.
Ooh,
that sounds epic.
Battle with the Borg Queen.
It wraps up the.
That's your last mission?
Yep, that's basically it. and I'm not going to be responsible for all of it. I managed to finish up the actual battle with her for the most part, and kind of the intro battle in space. So really the two pieces that you're going to see from me in that one will be the first space battle and then the actual final battle with the Queen. I don't think they've decided who to give the responsibility over to yet.
Well, make sure that they hop over on the forums because people like talking to you guys.
Yeah, well, I can suggest, right? They've become really good about following, especially since I had such good luck, playing the episodes and whatnot with guys on Tribble. So they're getting more involved. It's hard to make people do that, right? It's you have to have a pretty thick skin, as you well know, to spend any time on the forums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's been a lot of negative feedback to you in particular over the initial couple special task forces. Has that factored into you needing to take a step back from this project, or is it really just moving on to the next big thing?
It has nothing to do with that. If that bothered me, I would have left a long time ago.
Yeah.
All the forum feedback certainly helped steer, the second and the third and the final one that I was working on. But, for the people we made it for, those people like it, and the data doesn't lie. I mean, the people we actually made those particular episodes for, they like.
Did you find that maybe data would say one thing, but the forum would say another thing with some of that stuff? Or did you find that most of the time, if the forumers were screaming about something, the data would match it?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that. For instance, on the forums, a lot of times, if you get something and half the forums love it and half the forums hate it, that's probably about right. Even within the haters, you have
the tidbits.
You have if there's 40 people screaming about something, there's probably a problem.
Oh, well, I don't envy your position of having to weed through that, honestly.
Well, and that's not for much longer. Gozer, I just wanted to say good luck, and I'd love to stay in connection with you.
You're going to keep playing the game, right?
Yeah, you still playing?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going anywhere. In fact, I'll probably play more now because I'm not having to spend 8 hours a day.
That's what I was wondering.
On internal tests and things like that, yeah.
I know you got to head out and pack, but we're going to keep playing, and maybe, Gozer, you can jump in the game for a little bit and play along with us. And I just wanted to say on behalf of the Star Trek Online community, not that I can really speak for everybody, but I know even the people that have had issues and all that, everybody really appreciates your contributions. And we met you in person a couple of weeks before launch, and we know personally firsthand how much you've poured into this project.
How passionate you were about it, yeah.
So big thanks from all of us, and good luck with the next thing you're going on to.
Hey, guys, thanks. I will say this kind of in closing as well. I have the benefit of knowing where the game's going probably for the next year because that's kind of how far we've planned out so far. And there's some really, really good stuff coming. So, lots of things you guys don't even know about. Some of them you do. Just keep up the faith because there's some. I was sitting in a meeting yesterday. We had kind of showing us what we were planning, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm never leaving my my bridge when that stuff goes in." So,
oh boy,
there's a little tidbit to hold you over, but yeah.
All right, Gozer. Well, good luck with everything, and we'll check back with you in the not too far future. All right,
and good luck to you.
What are we doing about lunch? What time are we wrapping?
When we're done.
Okay. I like to eat is my only thing. All right, it is time for the DS9 fleet action. We've got Gozer in the game with us playing this fleet action. And so now our objective is to shut down force fields.
And kill squads and squads and squads of Cardassians. Kill the holo projectors if you see any. See, when you take out a holo projector, like 5 guys die. Wow, that's a lot of Cardassians. Oh, okay, the legates drop code keys that you can then use to shut down the force fields. If we don't have keys, we need to go back and kill more legates. Yep, force field's down.
That was fast. Lacks me the flank damage.
So if anybody's got a key code, there's a console here. Go ahead and type it in. I see Tycho doing it. Thank you.
Oh, we need the holo projector taken out fast.
Okay, remember when I said earlier about that people were complaining because there were too many people and they just weren't paying attention to the holo projectors? I think it actually might be a little too many people.
I agree completely. Because I have nothing to do with this game anymore.
Nice.
God damn it.
That's great.
I can be a ranting, raving lunatic now. Well, I told you, I don't know, I think it was you guys, I told in an interview how I got into the industry to begin with, right?
I don't know. Tell us the story.
I love MMOs. I've been playing MMOs as long as there have been MMOs. But I got really into Star Wars Galaxy, right? All the way through all the changes. I was one of the first guys to unlock a Jedi on my server. It was like the third one.
Nice.
So through all of that, I played through that hell, right? All the changes, all the fun stuff with SOE, and all of that crap. Yeah, I know. And so at the end of that, I was like, okay, if these guys can make video games, anybody can make video games. Because before that, it was all, it could have been magicians making video games. I didn't know how they were made.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I mean, after that experience, I'm like, okay, if these guys can do it and make money at it, certainly I can.
How do you change the codes?
Well, we'll deal with that situation after we deal with this situation. We're gonna have to kill these guys real
Ooh,
quick.
purple flames. Purple flames. Purple flames.
Oh God, I knew that.
All right, now who wants to enter the code? Somebody must have the code, right? All right, so did anybody get the...
Oh, there's another group up here in Ops again. So.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
back up to ops? Okay.
they probably dropped something and just nobody noticed that they picked it up. Oh well, I guess we don't get to save DS9. Let's go pet some tribbles,
Let's go look at the wormhole. Let's drop some acid and go stare at the wormhole.
All right, shut down auto destruct.
Look at my epic mission reward. Mission reward, small power cell.
Yeah, I got one too.
Win.
That was an epic fail.
Sorry. All right, let's do another one.
Have you heard of this new secret thing that somebody discovered in the Klingon? What is it? Klingon Scout Force? If you kind of go off the map a little bit, there's this exploded moon and a ship, a Federation ship being boarded by Klingons over there.
No kidding.
It's like the Starbase 24, the beam down thing.
How do we do that?
We just go to the Klingon Scout Force and then we can go find it.
All right, Ghost, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Stay in touch. I'm sure you'll see me in game now that you guys have my.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
So next we're going to be heading to the Klingon Scout Force. That's in the Laurentian system over in Pycanis. A secret mission.
A rumor of a secret mission.
There's a ship there called the USS Daxter that's being boarded by Klingons, and you can beam down to the ship and rescue the Daxter. Yeah?
Unless you flew past him like an asshole.
Well, not like an asshole.
Oh, like a dick then.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they're like a dick. You need to do this before you've progressed too far in the Scout Force, because otherwise if you get to the point that they'll spawn in this area. So
Oh. Don't skip right to this.
no, do skip right to this.
Oh, if you don't skip right to it, that's what.
Then you're F, because it'll be surrounded by baddies.
Oh,
Yeah,
So this is the distress call. Nice little hidden mission. This is
it's definitely a work in progress.
like I'm all here by myself. I'm so scared. This is cool. Look at this, you guys.
Look at that. Blah. Hey, the bar! Get these Klingons out of my bar.
I don't have that.
Stabilizing crewman. Crewman stabilized. We're on a spaceship.
Yeah.
Shouldn't these always be curvy?
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
That's not cool, man. That's not cool. This is not cool.
Check this bridge out. This bridge is fantastic.
Look at my bridge. My bridge is amazing. It's such a big old ball of fail.
I like it.
Oh, come on.
I like to have all information in me at all times. So that you can
Did it tell cards?
Yeah. You look at underneath the chair.
Oh, and I crashed. So we're going to have to defeat the True Way squadrons.
That's the episode we're playing right now. Is we're defeating the True Way Squadron because we're going to Empok Nor. We're gonna have cover.
I love Empok Nor. Tilted on its side like that.
I know. And it's believed this is where the True Way operatives are hiding out. And if you've been playing the
This
Cardassian,
is their base of operations.
yeah, this is their base of operation. If you've been playing the Cardassians, you'll know that the True Way guys are behind a bunch of bad going-ons in the Cardassian space.
They're basically trying to relive the glory days of the Cardassians by bringing back the Dominion allies that are now stuck here in the Alpha Quadrant without backup.
Boom! Who's your daddy?
Dock with Empok Nor. So we have defeated their space minions.
Space minions down. Now we gotta go down and defeat their ground minions. Find the security substation and input access codes.
We have to do one of those. Murphy, that's not really a combat move.
Alright, I guess it doesn't trigger that.
Oh, it does. It triggered this group of turrets. Oh, I forgot this part of the mission. I need to tell you guys, this part of this mission the hallways are filled with gas. And this gas makes you unable to target the correct people.
Oh.
So I think that's why we're dying, because like Xenos is shooting me right now. Somewhere in this area there's consoles we can turn off to kill the gas.
Jeremy's got those apple bottom jeans, but what the fuck?
Oh! Let's go Madrid. Let's kill him. Oh wait, no, subdue and beam him up. This is for Captain Picard! Doesn't look much like him.
No.
Station turrets are active, sir. Brace for impact. Oh my god! It's so full of stars!
Wow. Here we go.
A lot of turrets on that sucker.
This space station is fully battle operational.
Maybe they should have turned this stuff on when we first arrived.
Would have saved them a lot of time.
Yeah. Oh, I need some shields bad. No, I need some hull bad. I need some life bad.
Oh, sorry.
Now be careful. It seems like every time we take out a group of turrets, a group of ships spawn.
Doesn't seem like that, doesn't it?
So let's focus on a single group of turrets.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at that. All torpedoes. That is a cloud of torpedoes coming up. And I just gained EPS power malfunction. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to blame my group. Oh, 10,000 turrets is cheaper than straightening the station.
All right, at the beginning of the episode, we did promise you some of your feedback. We asked you last week your ideas for, what was it?
Non-combat
That's right.
missions.
Non-combat missions.
Something that might be a little more interesting than Scan 5 Things.
And we came across we got a couple of different messages because we forgot to actually mention it in the show. So
Yeah.
you eagle-eyed viewers who noticed it in the show notes, you guys get an extra gold star.
Good job. In fact, one of you was so awesome. You sent us 2 ideas that I'm going to mention on the show here.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do it. Is this the minigame one?
No, we'll get to that
save
at the
for
end.
that then.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Stay tuned.
All right, so are you talking about the first one here from Mac?
That's the one I'm talking about.
What's
Now,
your
I
name?
gave these cool little titles because they're episodes. I'm really proud of that. So this one I called Replicatus Interruptus. Let me just give you a little bit of
Look at you
a synopsis
showing
of the mission that he gave us here. A remote colony on a harsh planet that cannot support grown produce like vegetables and stuff like that relies upon a communal replicator that is broken down, and you're the nearest ship. So you're called, and you have to beam down to the planet, and you have to investigate as to why the replicator's broken. Your engineer tells you he can't fix it. It's being interfered with from an outside source.
Uh-oh.
So you have to go and find the outside source.
Sure.
In order to find it, you have to talk to different people at the colony.
Right.
And you find out from this archaeologist that was off in the hills that an object fell from space a couple days ago, the same day that the replicator broke. So
okay.
he tells you where to go, basically.
I gotcha.
You
That's
find
cool.
the thing, you either blow it up or just press F, whatever. That's not the payoff. The payoff is that is just the investigation portion of it, having to figure out why
Right,
the
we're
replicator's
talking non-combat
down.
here.
Right. Having to figure out why the replicator's down and how to find the source and all that stuff.
Cool.
Now, he actually mentioned additionally the idea of a mini game that's basically rearranging isolinear chips. You have like 10 slots and 9 chips,
So you're reprogramming?
and you have to
basically.
put them in sequential order.
Okay.
So every time you have to move one, you have to move another to a different spot.
Because
and
there's only so
eventually-
many slots open.
Right.
Cool. So Paul's
Now,
your
another thing he
cannon.
says is that they could actually, if they wanted to, incorporate the minigame into what sort of reward you get. Since the rest of the mission is really easy.
So like how
If
fast
it
you
takes
complete it?
If it takes you 10 seconds, you get an epic. If it takes you 20 seconds, you get a rare reward,
I wonder if they could do that.
et cetera,
That'd
et
be
cetera.
very cool.
So
Yeah.
Mac's other idea is a non-combat
People in the
mission.
chat room like that idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just reviewing what people are saying in the chat room, and they like it.
Yeah.
All right.
If you guys have any more in the chat room while we're doing this, since we're live right now, feel free to list them there. If they're good, we'll throw
read
them
them
in
off.
here. So Mac had another idea for a space non-combat mission. This involves a map that you're sent to investigate a decayed Federation signal, that's a distress signal.
Faint signal in distant space.
Mm-hmm. So you can't tell what ship it is, what their problem is. You just know it's on a Federation frequency. So you get there, you arrive there, and all of a sudden you realize your systems are offline. Everything except your engines have a tiny little bit of power, so you can barely move.
It's like a network. It's like a regional-wide subnucleonic pulse kind of a thing.
Yeah, sort of like that. Your science officer tells you that it's the asteroids that are putting out graviton beams, massive amounts of graviton beams.
Gravitons.
Curse the gravitons. And so you have to navigate your way through this minefield of gravity wells, basically using the same gravity well mechanic that's already in the game from the science ability. So they'll draw you closer to them, and they'll cause damage to you the closer you get to them. And and then you have to also
So that's a non-combat space.
Pick up escape pods that were also lost in the same field.
That's a great
and work
idea.
your way to the other side because you're also in red alert because of gravity wells.
You're using a system that already uses in-place game mechanics, so nothing new has to be invented, and it's a much better than scan, fly, scan, fly, scan, fly, scan.
Right.
I like that.
It still incorporates the basic mechanics of move to an object and press F.
And it's Star Trekian.
Yeah, but the whole object of getting to that object is where the conflict arrives.
It makes it a little more challenging to get there to press F to win.
Yep.
All right, what else we got?
This one comes to us from JRod73. His idea is for a system quarantine is what he's called it. It's like a medical mission.
Okay.
On one mission or another, your away team somehow contracts a deadly disease that the biofilters on your ship cannot remove. They're forced to beam back down to the planet where they contracted the disease and be quarantined. Once you're back on that planet, you then have to investigate again.
Like you beam down there to talk to somebody, and you're like, oh, this is just a stupid non-combat. You go down there.
Yeah, that's actually what he said.
And then beam up, and then all of a sudden, it turns out to be a little more than you expected.
That's what he said as well. Is that when you beam down and you talk to the dudes, and they're hiding the fact that half of their colony is infected with this.
Psych your mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else we got?
That's the last of the ideas that we were given. Now there was actually one that came to us that I didn't honestly understand. I think it was unfortunately from someone whose English was not their primary language, but it had to do with the old story, like when you have like a boat that only holds 2 people, but you have to get all the cannibals and all the colonists to the opposite sides of the boat. Yeah. But the cannibals will eat the colonists.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was that kind of thing.
Little mini game.
Yeah.
It's a little mini game.
But it was involving actual people and actually moving them from one, escorting them from one to the other.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about the mini game pictures that we've got because those look sweet. These were player created and they look really nice. This
is a thread that was on the STO forums that I actually tracked down, and I've had this in my bookmarks for a while now because I've been following this topic with a lot of interest. I hope that the developers are as well. This is from a guy named Thomas the Cat. He doesn't seem to be a common poster on the STO forums, but this thread in particular is well worth a million other posts.
Yeah, well, and we'll link to it in the show notes.
Yes. Yeah. And we're about to show you some pretty
going
epic
for
pictures.
Quality, not quantity in his forum posts, for sure.
So it's all about minigames.
Yeah,
the picture you're seeing right now is a adaptation of the classic Pipe Mania game. Pretty simple. You just rotate the blocks, or you move them from your kit over here on the right area, and then you have to create a conduit to get the energy to the node. And also, if you look down here at the bottom of the image, he also puts forth the idea of having engineering officers that have special abilities.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That can impact the actual minigame itself.
Good thinking.
He does that in all of these different games. Let me just go through the rest of these pretty quickly.
They're pretty neat.
This one he's called Radial Frogger, and it includes... he says this is sort of a way to hack systems.
Interesting. He also called it data recovery, and it almost looks like a hard drive platter in a way, like a drive fragmentation when you're doing your
these red ones are called bad sectors, and you can use special.
Awesome.
Go see the thread. Honestly, go look at the thread.
And
itself.
then again, like you mentioned before, there's a buff down at the bottom
that gives you a -5 to corrupt sectors. It's awesome, and
that's neat.
Each one of these has a thorough explanation as to how they could be implemented, where they fit in canon.
He matches it with a great description in the forum. And I wonder what Cryptic's legal is there, like if they can take this, if because he came up with it, if they're not allowed to use it without paying.
The thread says take them.
I know.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah. So there's more. This one is called. It's a Guitar Hero ripoff. And it's just basically you have to as the scanner goes left to right, you have to hit the buttons as they happen, and you get scored on how well you hit the buttons.
Cryptic, this is brilliant.
And so simple.
Seriously. This would add so much more to non-combat.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. All right, what's the next one?
There's 3 more. So this next one is called a signal wave analysis, and basically you would have to change the frequency and the pitch of your signal to match up with the red lines.
And it's timed too.
Yep, there's a timer down in the bottom.
Yeah, so you can fail. Finally, the chance to fail.
But I've said this before. The pure act of failing on its own is motivation to not fail.
The ability to fail.
Yeah. even if when you reach 0, nothing happens. You're just thrown back into the main world, and you
I
have
agree.
to press F again to activate the minigame.
You don't want to fail.
That you just don't want
But
to.
if you also got a very slight buff for winning,
Mhm.
now it's a whole nother level of not
That's
wanting
right.
to fail.
In fact, just like one of our previous ideas from Mac was saying, the better you play the minigame, maybe the better reward is at the end. Maybe the base reward is only a battery, but if you play the minigame really well, you can get rare loots, epic loots, tribbles.
That would be great.
Whatever's better than the battery.
We have any more?
This one, I don't honestly kind of understand. This is a kind of game
This
that I
one's
don't
pretty
really
wild.
play,
What's
but
it
it's
called?
basically like match the left-hand one to the right-hand one, and you move these sliders up and down to change the different pitch, the
what's the
different
title of it?
elevations. Surface image mapping.
Oh, okay. Almost do look linked.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would push down
guy's a
one and
great
the other one
designer.
raises.
I wonder if this guy does this professionally or if he's just really talented.
I don't know.
Just, an amateur talented. But
And
he's
this
really
last
good.
one is Asteroids. Beefed up. And you've actually seen this. You've seen Beverly Crusher go in and destroy Borg cells. You've seen the holographic Doctor go in
Oh
and destroy
my
Borg cells.
gosh.
It's just
So
awesome.
Just kind of give him an overview of it there.
Yeah.
That just looks so neat.
Antiviral nanoprobe controls, it says.
Oh, man.
It's epic. And I got to give this guy full props. Just like Chris said, incredible design, simple concepts,
Mm-hmm.
would add so much to the game.
I want to play those so bad.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, we hope you enjoyed this sort of casual episode of Stoked.
Mhm.
And you can find this show every Tuesday over at jupiterbroadcasting.com, where you'll also find high-definition, downloadable versions, RSS feeds, iTunes Store if you have a device that you want to sync to that connects through iTunes, and all those other various
Everything.
ways. And there's also the email address stoked@jupiterbroadcasting.com. That's where you'll be able to get a hold of us. And like I mentioned just a second ago, the forum over at jupitercolony.com.
That's it.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for watching this episode of Stoked, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.